This is behind the scenes of chapter 6 of The Thiever Who is Innocent. This chapter is called The Thing Cale Said About Kings, which I think is a really fun title. This chapter is all sorts of fun. There hasn't been a lot of fighting in the Hamill books, or there's been fighting, but it usually happens kind of off stage, so to speak. By the time that Hamill gets there, it's over and he's just, trying to put people back together or something like that. So it's fun to have a chapter in the books that finally you get to see the fighting happen. And it's especially fun because it involves Cale. He has his hand back. He can do things he couldn't do before. I just really like that part. And I love what Cale said at the very end of the chapter about, maybe it's time for you to leave princes behind and begin to think about kings. I love that. I think that's so much fun. It's so prophetic sounding, and it's so, here's this woman who's been through a lot of hard things in her life, and Cale's like, hey, everything is about to change for you, but you don't really know what's going to happen. So I really like that part. You know it's coming, but you don't really know what is coming. It took me a bit of time to get the ending right. That part where Annis knows something, and she knows something about Cale, but you don't know exactly what it is. It took me a little while to get that. I wanted to suggest something was going to happen in the future, but when you're foreshadowing, you have to do it correctly. Like, you don't want to give too much away. That's, point number one. You don't want to give too much away. You don't want to make the storyline obvious to people so that they know exactly what's going to happen, and so the book becomes predictable. You don't want to foreshadow in such a way that people know exactly what's going to happen. You just want to suggest something. And two, you don't want to be overly dramatic. You don't want to be, oh, the world's going to die and we need help, and oh my gosh, what's going to happen? That's too dramatic. So you have to do it just right to let your readers know that something's going to happen, and hopefully just dangle the carrot just a little bit to make people really, really excited about what's going to happen. So without shooting yourself in the foot. It's as much as possible, it's good to avoid shooting yourself in the foot as a writer.